Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to coverage of the Joe Lang Classic here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting live from Alcyon Park in beautiful Pittman, New Jersey. We have sunny skies here on this Saturday morning/afternoon. It's about 11 o'clock on the dot, and it's the Gateway Gators and the Pittman Panthers right here on DWB. My producer, Donna Wilkins, our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane, and myself, Dan Wilkins, the play-by-play broadcaster for today's game. Last night I was down near Atlantic City in Summers Point covering baseball for the Coaches vs. Cancer Classic and BFA Sports. Big thanks to Doug Stasic for having me. I'll be on the color commentary at 9:30 on Sunday for the Hamilton Blue Devils and the Washington Township Minutemen, and then on the play-by-play for Spotswood Chargers and the Audubon Green Wave at 2 o'clock. So glad that I'm able to cover my home team for a full season this year. Let's go over starting lineups before everybody takes the field. For the Gateway Gators, as coached by Mike Pietroforte, we have ourselves the freshman catcher, Zach Brodsky, batting leadoff. The pitcher batting second is going to be Sean Green, the sophomore. Batting third and playing shortstop will be Connor Barbato. Batting fourth and playing second base will be Tony Tacanelli. Batting fifth and playing first base is going to be number 28, Ryan Sieber. Batting sixth and at third base is going to be Peter Frombach. Batting seventh and in left field will be Colin Smith. Batting eighth and playing right field will be number 11, Landon McGinnis. And batting ninth and in center field will be Dylan Cruette. Going to the Pittman baseball lineup is coached by John Hopley and the Panthers. We have Connor Sharkey in left field batting leadoff. Braden Sharkey's in center field batting second. Stephen Devaney is the starting pitcher batting third. Hudson Rue is the shortstop batting fourth. Jake Sharrow is the catcher batting fifth. Drew Keefe is the second baseman batting sixth. Jude Engstrom is the first baseman batting seventh. Braden Yordy is the DH batting eighth. And guess what? He's the only rostered senior in this lineup this afternoon. The third baseman will be Jake Epting. He will not bat. And Kyle Kubat will be the right fielder batting ninth. Coaches are meeting at home plate along with the captains and the umpires, so we'll direct our attention to that as we get ready for Joe Lang Classic Baseball here in 2023. Keep in mind that over at the Joe Lang Field at Pittman High School, which is where the junior varsity plays, the Glassboro Bulldogs are going to be playing the Gloucester City Lions. When we have an update on the score of that game, we'll let you know so that we know who is playing who at 2 o'clock. Thank you. So we're going to turn our attention to the field. As you can see, we're up on a hill out in right field, but still create some good views nonetheless. We'll go to a quick break so that we can get our stuff in order, and we'll be back when the Gateway Gators face the Pittman Panthers, and Pittman will take the field for the first time in this 2023 Joe Lang Classic, live on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Panthers are taking the field here in the 17th annual Joe Lang Classic from Alcyon Park in Pittman. It's a beautiful morning, a beautiful afternoon, and a beautiful weekend for South Jersey baseball. It's the Gateway Gators and the Pitman Panthers. Here's some Group 1 action between two different powerful conferences, the Colonial and the Tri-County, clashing here on this Saturday morning. About 11:05, I believe. Yeah, right around 11:08 actually. So we're starting a little bit behind schedule, but they had to do the pregame ceremonies and all that jazz, so it's all good. The great-grandsons of Joe Lang threw out the first pitch for the ceremonies this morning, and along with that, they played the national anthem that you saw, put everybody out on the third and first base lines, and really shows how great of a baseball community Pittman has. You know, this kind of reminds me of almost like a mini Ralph Shaw, because Ralph Shaw, obviously, this is the 17th Joe Lang Classic, and Ralph Shaw, I think, has been around for almost 20 years, so you know, maybe there's a little bit more precedent, but still, I mean, these tournaments that play, even if it's just a one-day show, still really show the strength and the holding power that South Jersey baseball has. Stephen Devaney is the starting pitcher this afternoon for the Pittman Panthers. Yeah, the last time that I was here in Pittman, it was Jude Engstrom in a 12-9 loss versus Woodstown, but Pittman will look to get back into the win column this afternoon and improve to 6-3 on the young season. Zach Brodsky, the freshman catcher, is going to be leading off for Gateway, as Devaney will face Brodsky. The defensive lineup for the Pittman Panthers is behind the plate. Jake Sharrow in the infield will be Engstrom at first, Drew Keefe at second base, Hudson Rue at shortstop, and Jake Epting at third base. And in the outfield is Connor Sharkey, Braden Sharkey, and Kyle Kubat left to right. 17th annual Joe Lang Classic is underway, with the first pitch being a swing and a miss on a half-hearted swing, and it's 0-1. It'll be Brodsky, Green, and Barbato leading off the ball game for the Gators. The 0-1. That one is inside, 1-1. Mostly clear skies, a little bit of feathered clouds here and there, but 73 degrees at first pitch with wind blowing to the south at 12 miles per hour. So wind is basically blowing out, is what I'm trying to say. So we could see some long balls this afternoon. That's the ball, 2-1. There's a strike. 2-2 to the freshman catcher, Brodsky. He's 10 for 21 with a .476 average in his freshman year, so maybe that's why he's batting leadoff. 1 extra base hit, 7 walks, and 4 stolen bases. So even as a catcher, it seems like he's been good at drawing walks and advancing on stolen bases. So here we go, payoff. It's going to be inside, and Brodsky walks to lead off the ball game. This is going to bring up Green, starting pitcher for Gateway. Now, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it almost looks like there's a fog or a haze that's going over the field, and it makes it a little bit difficult to see, at least from out where we are. But it, like maybe a cloud of dust. I don't know exactly what lands beyond this field, but it's still interesting to see. First pitch to the pitcher, Green, from Devaney, is a ground ball foul up the first base line. 0-1. Runner on first for Gateway, nobody out. Still no score here in the first. Sean Green, the sophomore, goes back and forth between pitching and catching. He's batting .333. 6 for 18, all singles, 10 walks, 8 stolen bases. A 1. That's a ball. No, called a strike. 0-2. Looked a little bit low at the knees. But regardless, the call stands, and it's 0-2. As we said, Green batting .333. in his sophomore year. And there's another foul ball, right field side. Heads up to the folks in the grass out there. Green has 4 innings pitched in his sophomore year. We'll go over that when he's on the mound in the bottom half of the first. Still 0-2 to Sean Green. And here's a liner back to the mound. They get 1 on the first, and that's a double play. So that will go in the book as a 1-6-3. And there's quickly 2 down for Gateway as Connor Barbado is going to be next for the Gators.
Batting number 25, Connor Barbado.
Wind blowing a little bit fiercely this afternoon. There's a ball inside 1-0. So again, a 1-6-3 double play. Popped up. Back behind the plate, Sherrow going out for it, and he can't get there. He ran into the fence at the Pittman dugout, but couldn't hang on. Stephen Navani this year, 16 in the 3rd innings, a 3 flat ERA, 25 strikeouts, 17 hits allowed, 7 earned runs, and 7 walks. This is his 5th appearance of the season, having appeared in a 6-5 win over Salem, a 4-0 loss to Glassboro, a 14-1 win over Clayton, and an 11-1 loss to Pennsville. 1 ball, 2 strikes, runner on, actually nobody on for Gateway after the double play. Excuse me. Everybody's coughing up a storm this morning. Swing and a miss. Devaney make that 26 strikeouts in his junior campaign. We go to the bottom of the first. No score here in the 17th annual Joe Lang Classic. Here in the bottom of the first, Sean Green, the sophomore, pitching here for the Gators. He's got 4 innings, no runs allowed, just 1 total, but none of them were earned. Total of 5 strikeouts, 1 hit batter. This is his 2nd appearance of the year after a 6-5 win versus Gloucester on April 6th. Here is Connor Sharkey leading off for the Panthers. His brother Braden will bat next, followed by Stephen Navani batting 3rd for the Panthers, and the first pitch from Sean is a strike right down Broadway on what looked like a little bit of an off-speed pitch, and it's 0-1. One and one. Foul 1-2.
We were talking the other day about good baseball names. Sharky sounds like one of those names where I could see it on the back of an MLB jersey.
100%. There's another foul ball. Just one of those names that rolls off the tongue real nicely.
Yep.
One ball, 2 strikes. Swinging a ground ball out towards short. Barbado is there. Throw to first is going to be in time, and a routine 6-3 ground out kicks off the first. Connor Sharkey is retired. Braden Sharkey now coming up. Connor Sharkey, rather Braden Sharkey, takes inside, and it's 1-0. There's a line drive out to right. Going back is Cruitt. He'll make the catch, and a can of corn for the right fielder, and there's 2 down.
Number 1,
Stephen Devaney.
Yeah.
Don't forget at the Joe Lang Field at the Pittman High School, there's Glassboro and Gloucester. When I get updates on the score of that game, I will let you know as soon as possible, but I think when we know what bus rolls into Alcyon Park, we'll know who won that game. There's a liner foul. That one's going all the way up onto the grass. Yeah, so 2 o'clock will be the championship game. And it will be right here at Alcyon Park, so our equipment will not move. It's 1-1 and a foul ball. 1-2. So that will either be Gateway and there's a whole bunch of different possibilities. Could be Gateway and Glassboro, could be Gateway and Gloucester, and it could be Pittman and Glassboro, could be Pittman and Gloucester. So really all up to whoever wins this one and whoever wins the one down at Joe Lang Field. The 1-2 is a ground ball out towards short again. Barbado picks it up, and that will retire the side. Gateway with 2 grounders and a fly ball get out of the first without much hassle. We go to the top of the second. No score from Alcyon Park here in the Joe Lang Classic. Top of the second inning, shot of the beautiful Pittman Water Tower just across the road here at Alcyon Park, as Gateway will get a chance to hit here in the top of the second inning. No score after 1. And Gateway will have a chance here. First batter for the Gators will be Tony Tacanelli. Both teams went down 1-2-3 to start the ball game. That'll be a foul ball, 1-1. Don't forget, folks, on Sunday I'll be working with BFA Sports in the 12th annual Coaches vs. Cancer Classic down in Mainland at Linwood, New Jersey, down near Atlantic City. At 9 o'clock, I'll be on the color commentary for Hamilton and the Blue Devils versus Washington Township and the Minutemen. I'll be working in the production crew for the 11 o'clock game, which is St. Augustine Prep versus, I honestly forget who they're playing, but at 2 o'clock, I'll be on the play-by-play for Audubon and Spotswood, which will be my last game of the weekend. So, it's 0-2 to Tacanelli. That one is away, 1-2. And then on Monday, the 24th, don't have anything scheduled, and actually our next DWB broadcast will be on the 26th, which is Wednesday, versus the Timber Creek Chargers in the Audubon Green Wave from the Hank Greenberg Field.
A couple of days off, I could use it.
Yeah, well, it's 2 days in a row without any baseball. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
You're going to go to a baseball game.
Oh, yeah, we're going to go to a Phillies game, yeah.
That's still baseball.
Yeah. Swing and a miss by Tacanelli, and Stephen Devaney with his second strikeout of the afternoon, and this is going to bring up Ryan Sieber. Here's a ground ball, foul. Nice play by the Gateway third base coach. Could have gotten an assist for that one. So Tacanelli strikes out, and then Ryan Sieber followed by Peter Frombach. Due up for Gateway. Liner foul, and it's a 2-strike count, 0-2. Wednesday will be Timber Creek in Audubon. Thursday will be St. Augustine in Audubon, the prep school down in Richland near Vineland. And then on Friday will be the kickoff of the Thank You Classic here in 2023. It'll be at Alcyon Park right here in Pittman. 4 o'clock will be Gloucester and GCIT, and then at 7 o'clock will be Collingswood and Pittman. Here's a ground ball out to second base, and the throw is in time, and Keefe makes the second out of the inning. This will bring up Peter Frombach.
Now batting number 15, Peter Frombach.
So 4-3 ground out, and still no hits for either side. In fact, no base runners for either side here in the top of the second inning. So a good game defensively so far for the Gators and the Panthers.
Definitely some clean baseball to start.
Yeah, I mean, really. And that's what you always like to see. One's away, 1-0. And I did just realize on Friday when Collingswood plays Pittman, both teams will be called the Panthers. So I will have to find
Panthers versus Panthers.
Well, Panthers, that is the most common team name in New Jersey. 16 schools use the Panthers team name. Collingswood and Pittman are just 2 of them.
You're going to have to use the town name instead of the team name.
Yeah, Collingswood and Pittman. Saturday will be 4 games in Franklin Township, getting started with Audubon and St. Joe's of Hamilton, and then Egg Harbor Township and Shawnee will be at 1 o'clock as here's a ground ball out towards short. Hudson Rue is there on a couple hops, and it is in time. How about it? Stephen Devaney and Sean Green are on a roll. We go to the bottom of the second. No score, no base runners for either side here versus Gateway and Pittman. Sean Green getting ready for another inning of work here from Alcyon Park in Pittman in the 17th annual Joe Lang Classic. Here between the Gateway Gators and the Pitman Panthers. Still no score here in the bottom of the second. And batting for the Pitman Ball Club will be Hudson Rue after Green set him down 1-2-3 on 2 ground outs and a fly ball to right. Pittman has set down the first 6 Gators in the order, and Green will look to mirror that in the second. First pitch is upstairs, 1-0. One just missed, 2-0. There's a hot shot to third, picked up and throw across the diamond will be in time. Beautiful play at third by Peter Frombach, was really able to scoop that one on a hop and then make an accurate throw with the time that he had. So, one away. Here's Jake Sharrow. Sharrow and then Drew Keefe, the second baseman for Pittman, will be due up here in the second. First pitch, down and away, 1-0. You're watching coverage of the 17th annual Joe Lang Classic here from Alcyon Park on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you have any questions or comments about today's broadcast, drop me a line at Dan, D-A-N. Oh, hold on now. That one's right off of Frombach. It hit him. Throw to first is going to be a couple steps late. And an infield single that's a little bit painful for the Gators third baseman Frombach. That looked like it drilled off his shin just a little bit. And now the runner is on first for Pittman. So this will bring up Drew Engstrom. So yeah, I mean, the Dan Wilkins Show at gmail.com. Make sure you check it out there and send us an email with some questions or comments. That one's upstairs, 1-0. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday are going to be real heavy work days. We have 4 games on each day, 4 games in Franklin Township. 10 a.m. is Audubon and St. Joe's. 1 p.m. is Egg Harbor Township and Shawnee. I'm really hoping that Cameron Fluke is the starting pitcher for Egg Harbor that day because, remember, he's an MLB draft prospect, and I'd love to be able to film an MLB draft prospect if he's going to be selected in the first couple of rounds. So it'd be really nice to see him play. 4 o'clock will be Bishop Eustace and Ferris. Ferris is a team up near Jersey City. And 7 o'clock will be Sterling and Kings Christian. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Some pollen coming off the trees.
No, thank you.
Not really helping my nose this afternoon.
Me neither.
But spring has sprung here in Jersey. 1-2 from Green. Outside corner and a called strike 3.
Number 34, Jude Engstrom.
Excuse me, this is Jude Engstrom. That was Drew Keefe that just struck out. Told you.
Bless you.
Oh, excuse me. Hate when I got to do that on the broadcast, but it's part of nature. Ground ball out to Barbado. Sliding stop on the second for 1, and that will end the inning. Beautiful defense by Connor Barbado. That entire left side of the infield has had some star power this afternoon. We go to the third. Still no score between Gateway and Pittman. Here in the top of the third on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting coverage of the 17th annual Joe Lang Classic. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Doug Does Anything. Hold on. There we go. My ad wouldn't load. This broadcast is brought to you by Doug Does Anything, your local handyman. If you need anything done, no matter how big or small, give Doug Does Anything a call at 856-412-0118. Again, that's 856-412-0118.
He's done work for me and for my mom.
Yes, and here's a ground ball out to first, and it's going to take a bad hop off of Engstrom, and it'll be an infield single. And Gateway is off the hook. They've got themselves their first base runner thanks to Colin Smith. And this will bring up Landon McGinnis. That was just unfortunate. Bad hop, bad placement, and really nothing you can do about that. But Gateway is a runner on first with nobody out. So it'll be Smith, McGinnis, and then Dylan Cruitt, the right fielder. As the lefty McGinnis takes the first pitch outside, 1-0. Throw back, nothing doing. And another throw. I just remember during the Overbrook Woodstown game last week, there was there was this one pitcher who would throw over the first base like 6 times, I think, in an inning, and it was just like, it was a little bit crazy. 1-1.
You're like, are we ever getting out of here?
Yeah. That game was a 3-hour game, too, for being 7 innings. It just went on and on and on. And we were a little bit crammed, too, because we were stuck in between 2 fences, which were only about 5 feet apart, so we didn't really have anywhere to go. The swing and a miss by McGinnis, and it's 1-2. Again, Dylan Cruitt, who is at the center of your screen, is up on deck for the Gators. There's a fly ball. Popped up foul. And it'll be 1-2 still. And you know what's interesting? Even though the Panthers are the most common team name in New Jersey, Gateway is the only team to be called the Gators. The only team. Probably because there's no Gators up in New Jersey. At least none that I've seen.
But it has a nice ring to it, Gateway Gators.
Gateway Gators, yeah.
And Pittman Panthers.
Yeah. Some nice alliteration.
Yes.
Strikeout looking on the inside corner to McGinnis is the third strikeout for Devaney. And here's Dylan Cruitt. Runner on first for Gateway and 1 away here in the top of the third. No score here in the 17th annual Joe Lang Classic. Beautiful, beautiful weather. A little bit hot, but a nice enough breeze where it kind of cools you down. And of course there's the snack stand behind home plate, which I may be running to in a couple of innings after this game's over. Maybe getting some hot dogs and Gatorade.
Yeah, they got a pretty good setup.
There goes a bunt by Cruitt. Devaney picks it up, and the throw to first is in time, but a successful sacrifice. Makes it the second out for Gateway, but moving over to second base is going to be Colin Smith. So here is Zach Brodsky, freshman catcher. He walked and was retired via the double play ball in the first inning. Shero is going to call time, and he's going to talk to Stephen Devaney. That was a pretty quick meeting. Guess they're going over some signs and strategy. Remember, no pitch clock and no pitch com in high school baseball, so you really kind of have to, when you're going over strategy, you got to talk to him face to face. That one is inside, 1-0 to Zach Brodsky. On deck for Gateway, if this inning were to continue, is Sean Green. strike. 1-1. Here's a fly ball foul, third base side. Over towards the softball field. No action over there today. One ball, two strikes, 2 outs. Leadoff man for Gateway up with a runner on second. And a no-score game. And Sharrow takes that one upstairs and is going to back out of the crouch there to kind of check on his man over at second. First 3 for Pittman in the bottom half of the third will be Braden Yordy, followed by Kyle Kubat and Connor Sharkey back at the top of the order. Here's a ground ball past the third baseman in the left field, picking it up and making a throw, coming to the plate. It is going to be way wide, and going to second base will be Brodsky, and it is 1-0 Gateway. So they've got the first run, they've got the first laugh. Now the question is, who gets the last laugh? So an RBI single that turned into a double for Zach Brodsky. And this will be Sean Green. Looked like that they were going to have a chance to get out of the inning, but with a 2-strike count and 2 outs, Brodsky drives in the runner in scoring position, and now he himself is a runner in scoring position here with 2 down. So Colin Smith came around to score on that RBI. There's a swing and a miss from Devaney to Sean Green, and it's 0-1. A couple of leaves just came down and went onto my scorebook. Whoa, whoa, they got him. I was not expecting that. They threw over to second base, and he was retired. So the man who drove in the first run gets the last out. We go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 Gateway. There's a giant bee on my shoulder. I don't know how to get rid of it.
Just shake it off.
Well, I don't want to hurt it, and I don't want it to sting me because it flew right in my forehead.
I don't think it's that kind of a bee.
I see it's got a stinger on the end of it.
Right. He's just saying hi.
Well, yeah, I want him to get off me.
Just take your pen and push him off.
All right. So here's Braden Yordy as we have a natural situation going on here. With a bee on my shoulder. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
Flick them.
Flick him.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's stuck to your shirt.
Oh, yeah, he is.
You're all right. All right.
Oh.
Give him a second.
Sorry, folks. I'm not exactly the biggest fan of bees.
Well, we did just have Earth Day, and he came by to remind everybody that bees are important to our planet.
How am I supposed to know if he's stinging me?
You would know if he was stinging.
You would know?
Yeah,
Or I would know?
You would know. He's just chilling right now.
All right.
You're fine.
Well, it's 2-1, and here's the ground ball to third. Throw across the diamond. Is in time. One away. I think that he's actually stuck to my shirt.
He might be.
Which that wouldn't be great.
Kyle, move back.
Well, let's show you right here. We'll turn this around for a quick second. Right back here.
Down.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah. There he is.
It's right there. Not exactly the best place to have one, but
Saying conserve the bees.
yes. Here's a first pitch grounder to third. Throw to first will be in time. No, it will not be in time, and it's going to skip away down the right field line. Going to second base will be Yordi, and he is in there safely. So runner on second with one away for Pittman. So here's Connor Sharkey. I'm terrified.
You shouldn't be, but he's not gonna hurt you.
Well, if I keep poking him.
Well, we're gonna wait till break and I'll get him off.
You know how to get him off?
Yeah, I'll get him off.
Okay. That's inside. 1-0. One away. Runner on second for Pittman. Look, you're afraid of spiders. I'm afraid of bees. We're even. 2-0. For the folks watching at home, there's a runner on second and a terrified broadcaster in right field. Here's a fly ball rocketed to right, and this ball is off the wall, and it's going to be a ground rule double, as that one was about 5 feet away from being a long ball. Wow, what a shot by Kyle Kubat.
Kaiski.
That's going to put, rather, Connor Sharkey. No, they're going to call it. I thought that was a fair ball. Okay. I guess it was a foul ball. So we'll go back to where we were with Sharkey. And it is a 2-1 count. Now he grounds one out to third, and it's passed to Barbado. And he makes the play. 2 down. Got a big scorebook. 2 down and a runner on second. Okay. I don't think he can move. I think he's stuck to my shirt.
I'm gonna get him off on the break
How are you going to do that?
with a business card.
With a business card.
Yeah.
So Dan Wilkins Broadcasting is now harming the bees
I'm not gonna harm the bee, I promise.
with the ground ball. That one hit off the foot of Devani, or rather of Sharkey, and he goes down. Yeah, he fouled that one straight off his foot. That's not going to feel good.
No.
You're getting ready for battle, huh? What? I'm terrified. You think it's hilarious.
I don't think it's hilarious because I'm so scared of spiders.
Stephen Devani on deck, and Braden Sharkey is talking to the coaches. My mother is now trying to use a Gatorade cap to entice the bee.
Because I think he's thirsty.
thirsty for what? My blood? Oh, that's a mosquito, right? Looks like Sharky will stay in the game. Oh, and it just flew away. It went into my hat.
It's still on you. Okay, he's gone.
And I think we're free. We are free from the bee. It only took us about 4 batters. That was terrifying. I've been stung by a bee before, and that guy, Braden's Sharky, just got stung by a baseball. So a hit by pitch, and he's very frustrated, and I can tell because he just fouled the ball off his foot, and then on the next pitch he gets hit by a pitch. So he threw that bat down to the ground. Runners on first and third, by the way. So I can understand why he's not happy. And we're going to have time called here. One of Gateway's coaches, Pittman's third base coach, is talking to the second base umpire. I don't know, that was a bit interesting by Sharky, but obviously he was upset over that. Here's a line drive into left field, a base hit. It'll go out to Smith and left. A run scores, and into third will be Kubat, or rather Sharky. So Devaney with an RBI single. Sharky is on third. And it is now going to be 2-1, or 1-1 game, excuse me. Runners on the corners. So here's Hudson Rue. The Kubat scored on that single. Runners on first and third with 2 down. There's a strike. 0-1. Runner goes, throw down to second base is going to be cut off by the pitcher Green. I think he knew that that wasn't really a winning battle. And we're going to have a pinch runner here for Devaney with 2 down. Probably a smart thing to do. So down at second base is number 18. Or number 16, excuse me, that's Tyler Marone. I mean, I have good vision, you can't see that far. Here we go, 0-2. Swing and a miss. So Rue goes down on strikes, but Pittman ties the game on an RBI single by Stephen Devaney. It's 1-1 after 3. Here in the top of the fourth, and it's time for DWB Trivia Time. Today's question is, when was the last time Philadelphia hosted the MLB All-Star Game? Was it A, 1999, B, 2011, C, 1996, or D, 1984? We'll go to the bottom of the, we'll go reveal the answer in the bottom of the fourth. We'll go back to the main board as Gateway leads off the fourth with a strike, rather a ball, excuse me, 0-1. Pittman tied the game in the bottom half of the third on an RBI single by Steven Devaney. And Sean Green will be up again after Zach Brodsky doubled, but was picked off at second base just a couple of pitches afterwards. So there is a strike, 1-1. What do you think the answer is? You got a guess?
I was thinking around 1999.
Ah, yeah. That would be a good guess, yeah.
That's when I got married. I remember going to the vet still, because I don't think we've hosted in CBP.
We have not that I know of, so
Okay.
that eliminates one of the answers, but if you know when the...
We're giving a hint.
Yeah, there's your hint. So, there's a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To Sean Green, it'll be Green, Connor Barbato, and Tony Tacanelli. I mean, if you have a basic knowledge of when Citizens Bank Park opened, that eliminates one of the answers.
Yeah. The old vet was something, though. I love CBP, but...
It's going to make it 3-2.
Something classic about the, the vet.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves their home ballpark, and those cookie-cutter stadiums, they really were a fad for their time. You had Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, you had Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, Busch Stadium, the old one in St. Louis before they made a new one. There's a ground ball, hot shot in between first and second in the right. Kubak will pick that up, and it's a base hit for Sean Green. So leadoff single for Gateway. Their third hit of the afternoon, and this brings up Connor Barbato. So runner on first, nobody out. I wonder if the rumor was true that there was an underground prison or a jail below Veterans Stadium.
I think so. We actually saw it one time on the news.
Really?
There wasn't a prison. It was a...
like a holding cell?
Yeah, like a jail cell for unruly
fans.
And shockingly, sometimes during the Eagles games, you would find people in there.
Yeah. I mean, I understand being, like, drunk and disorderly that you have to get kicked out of the stadium, but I don't know how bad you have to be held in a holding cell below the stadium.
Yeah, that's when you
like
have
some
charges against you.
Like some sort of purgatory, yeah. I want to know. Probably some of the older folks that are watching, or maybe those that like a cold one or two at an Eagles game.
Watch how you use that word old. Your
There's
mother's
a swing and a
getting
miss.
there.
Throw to second base is going to sail into center field. And to save face, Sharkey is there to pick that one up. And going to second base will be Green. No outs and a runner on second for Gateway. Two and one. There's a strike. 2-2. By the way, you can also email the Dan Wilkins Show at gmail.com if you have any future ideas for trivia questions. I've made 20 so far this year, and we're going to have another one for the second game that we're doing at 2 o'clock. I do a different one for every single game, and now picked off between second and third is going to be Green, and he will be in no man's land. We got a jar of dill pickles right here, and a throw to third is going to be in time, and Green is retired for the first out. So Pittman was able to put him on lockdown, and it seems like the defense has been good at wiping the bases clean. And there is going to be the first out in an unconventional way. That's the second time that a runner has been called out by either a pickoff or a rundown. 1-2 to Barbato, followed by Tony Tacanelli next up for the Gators. There's a swing and a foul, 1-2. There's a pop-up foul. Swing and a miss. On a cricket pitch, he'll throw down to first base, and it is in time for the second.
So I found the information, of course, on the internet that, yes, not only did Veterans Stadium have a jail for unruly fans, but Philly went above and beyond most stadiums by having their own courtroom and judge at the stadium.
Who was the judge? The Philly Fanatic?
No. No, they had a judge there so that they could quickly deal with any unruly fans.
Wow. That sounds like just pure folklore, but wow.
Yeah.
So here is Tony Tacanelli. That is really, really interesting.
The court jail was started in 1998 and was run by Judge Seamus McCaffrey.
I mean, after all, by the way, it's 1-0. After all, if the Philly Fanatic is in a costume, maybe McCaffrey was the guy inside the costume. He has to get out of character, get into his robe for night court.
I don't think so.
There's a strike, 1-1. I still want to believe. Just make me believe that Philly Fanatic was the judge.
Well, they're not saying they used it for the Phillies, but they used it for the Eagles.
Oh yeah, they probably had to use it for the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Phillies, maybe not as much. I've seen maybe like 1 or 2 fans a game get kicked out at a Phillies game. I don't think they're as bad. Because baseball culture doesn't really promote that as much. Football culture is, off the wall. Oh, that looked like a close call, but it's going to be 2-2.
And now it says that Lincoln Financial has the holding cell, but none of the jail or the courtroom again.
Oh, so just
a holding cell, yeah.
That would make sense.
So they'll still get you locked away for a little bit if you act up.
Those darn Eagles fans. With a swing and a miss. Going down to first base. Throw by Sherrow is in time, and Steven Devaney wheeling and dealing, going to the bottom of the 4th. He's got one heck of a night going on. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 1-1 tie game. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Pittman will get their chance to bat. It's time for DWB Trivia Time. Today's question is, when was the last time Philadelphia hosted the MLB All-Star Game? The options were 1999, 2011, 1996, and 1984. Your guess was 1999, as the first pitch will be a foul ball. Let's reveal the answer. And it is C. 1996 was the last time that the Phillies hosted the All-Star Game. So we'll go back to the main board here as it's an 0-1 count for Pittman here, leading off the bottom of the 4th. 0-2. Jake Sharrow. Sharrow, Keefe, and Engstrom do up for the Panthers. Remember, yes.
Even though you're living with me, I don't get any cheating with the answers to the questions. I have to make my own guesses.
Yeah. Well,
I was wrong.
Well, I like to hear what you have to say about that because I don't think I tell you the questions beforehand.
No.
It's kind of like I just load them up.
I just think I look pretty bad, though. That, you know, we're in the same household and I'm not getting the answers.
Swing and a miss, throw down to first base. A lot of drop third strikes. And it'll be in time. 1 away. It's one of those fundamental parts of the game that when you look at it from a surface level, doesn't really make sense. But one of the things about the drop third strike is that it actually didn't come from the original set of baseball. It actually came about 100 years before it. And one of the precursors to baseball was a British game called Rounders, which was basically the same thing as baseball, except it was played on an all-grass field, and the pitcher had to throw underhand and had to throw very slow. There actually was a rule that if you threw too fast, the pitcher would automatically give a base. Now, they were still called bases, but you had to, the goal was to circle the bases as many times as you could before the batter was out.
That's cool.
Now, another thing was that there was this doctor in Germany, and this is where I get to the whole drop third strike thing. By the way, count as 2-1. There was this doctor in Germany who came up with a book of a whole bunch of different games that you could play in gym class and physical education. And one of the things that is why the drop third strike exists is that he came up with another similar game to baseball. I forget what it was called, but one of the rules was that if the catcher dropped the ball at any point, the batter could try to steal first base. So that eventually evolved into what we know today with the drop third strike.
So you're basically stealing.
Yeah, it's like stealing first base.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And actually, the Israeli baseball league used to have a rule where if the batter dropped the ball, or the catcher dropped the ball at any point, it would be an automatic. You could go to first base. Count is full, by the way, to Drew Keefe with 1 away here in the bottom of the fourth. But yeah, the precursors to baseball were very wacky. Had a lot of weird rules and provisions. That one's out near the parking lot. Do not hit our car. Do not hit our car. Okay, it will not hit our car. I mean, we're parked pretty far away, but that ball was getting close. With how many times it was bouncing on the concrete. It's 3-2. There's a strike on the outside corner. Looked like Keefe was about to go down to first base, but then he got the call, and he was rung up. So here's Jude Engstrom. Inside, 1-0. That was close, almost sneezed again. It's that time of year, I tell you.
Well, we're out here by the trees. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful park, though.
It is really a beautiful park. And we have some family that live in Pittman and the surrounding areas, and we've never been to this park the entire time that we've been down here for the past 10 years. So, well, I mean, I was here back in April, earlier in the month, for a Woodstown Pittman game, but I was with Brian Tortello of Paulsboro, so that one's going to be a 4-1 walk. This is your first time.
Yeah.
Now batting for Pittman, number 5, Braden Yordy.
So here's Braden Yordy. Love the Beastie Boys representation. And that's not even their most popular hit, I would say.
No, but I love that song.
I'd say either No Sleep Till Brooklyn or
Intergalactic Planet. I don't know what that actual name is.
it's just called Intergalactic.
Yeah, I love that song.
I'd say their most popular one probably You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Welcome to DWB, where the B stands for Beastie.
Well, as we like to say, you gotta fight for your right to play baseball.
Yeah. Here is Yordi. That'll be ball 5. 5 in a row for Green. It's 1-0. That was intentional. You gave me a weird look, but that was intentional.
I was like, wait a minute, I don't know how to score that.
Here's a ground ball, liner out to Barbato, and he will tag second base to retire the side. There were 2 outs anyway, I think, so it wouldn't have mattered, but that's out number 4, I guess. So we go to the 5th 1-1 tie game here in Pittman in the Joe Lang Classic opener between the Gateway Gators and the Pitman Panthers. We'll be right back. Here in the top of the 5th, Gateway and Pittman all knotted up at 1. This broadcast is brought to you in part by DJK Roofing, South Jersey's #1 roofing supplier, with over 200 5-star reviews on the web. Get a free quote today by calling Carmine Rampolla at 856-778-3900. Again, that's 856-778-3900. Swing and a miss. Down and in. So it'll be Ryan Sieber, Peter Frombach, and Colin Smith due up for the Gators. Remember, Audubon plays Gateway on May 4th, later on this year, although that's just 2 weeks from now, so not that far down the road. But that'll be at the Hank Greenberg Field. Audubon only has 3 home games in the month of May, so we'll be traveling a lot during the month of May. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wow. Hard to tell from that angle, but it looked like, I mean, you heard it from center field. He thought it was a strike, and I think everybody on the Pittman Panthers Ball Club did as well, but it is 2-2. 4, 5, and 6, rather 5, 6, and 7 due up for Gateway, and that one is inside. Count's going to run full. Gateway this afternoon with 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. And for the Pittman Panthers, they also have 1 run on 1, 2, 3 hits. So, identical scorecards. And here's the 3-2 to Frombach, or rather to Sieber. One of my lineups went flying.
Mom with the catch.
I don't know if you caught it. You kind of picked it up off the ground.
I trapped it.
Ah, you trapped it?
Don't tell anybody. They'll have to look at the replay to tell.
Well, we didn't get an angle of that, so. 3-2. Swing and a drop, 3rd strike, throw to 1st. It's going to be in time. Strikeout number 6 for Stephen Devaney. That leads off the 1st inning. Now it's no longer a B. I think that's a wasp.
Oh, God.
I don't know what that is. It's flying around our camera, though.
It's a yellow jacket.
Yeah, that one was stinging.
Yeah. The other one was a more gentle giant bee.
Uh-huh.
He's in the camera.
Oh, he's in the camera?
He's underneath the camera.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hopefully he'll go away.
Well, the bugs are out in full force, and so are the pitchers here for Gateway. And Pittman. First pitch is a swing and a foul. He's in that little camera apparatus right there.
As long as he stays there, not on you.
Yeah. Mr. Yellowjacket, would you like to be a cameraman for DWB? I'll tell you my rates. Strike. 0-2. The wind now seems like it's blowing from the third base line to the first base line, so a little bit of a change in that regard, and it's 1-2. Colin Smith on deck. Each team got a run in the third, but nothing more so far. Swing and a miss. 7 strikeouts and 4 in a row for Devaney, and this will bring up Colin Smith. So Steven on a roll. It looks like the Yellow Jacket has finally flown away. It went that way to the right and then hooked over to the left, and no, it is back. Yes. As long as it doesn't sting me. Now I think the difference is that those. I think what was on my shoulder earlier was a carpenter bee, but there's no wood around here except for the trees.
I don't know. I don't think it was a carpenter bee.
It was a fat bee.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to the bee community.
It's a bumblebee, like the regular big furry bumblebee.
Like, no offense to the bee community out there, but it was a fat bee. It was a ground ball to first, picked up, and a 3 unassisted by Engstrom to retire the side, going to the bottom of the 5th. We'll hold the bee talk until we come back from break, 1-1. Here in the bottom of the 5th, here from Alcyon Park, home of Pittman baseball. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Parolee's Printing and Bantles, Banners, Signs, and Apparel, your one-stop shop for all your print and promotional needs with a 5-star Google rating. Over 50 years in business and handling any ink-on-paper project, as well as banners, signs, apparel, and promotional swag. I just refreshed the YouTube page a couple of minutes ago, and I realized that we have hit our 800th subscribers. So congratulations to our entire crew, and thank you to everyone for your contributions. We'll go for 1,000 by the end of the baseball season. That may be a bit ambitious, but maybe 900 by the end of the baseball season.
Yeah, I say we're going to hit something big. 800 is pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, 800. You know, considering that we've built that up over the course of just a couple of seasons from the fall of 2021 to today, it's really been an honor to have this many live streams under my belt. But it's going to be 2-1. Liner, fair, left field line. This one's going to roll, and it's going to stop out and left. Going to second base is going to be Kyle Kubat in the bottom of the order, doing the heavy lifting with a leadoff double in the bottom of the 5th.
Now batting for Pittman, number 22, Connor Sharkey.
So back to the top of the order. We'll be back to the top of the order. Foul ball, 0-2. Connor Sharkey. Braden Sharkey's on deck. No outs and a runner on second. The go-ahead run for the Panthers. Foul ball. Although if the let's see what I'm trying to think here. I just lost what I was going to say. Oh, right. So if the 7 o'clock game on Friday the 28th is going to be the Panthers versus the Panthers, I realize that the 4 o'clock game is going to be the Lions and the Cheetahs.
Oh boy. We're
Lost
going on
it.
safari.
Yeah. Lions, Panthers, Cheetahs, oh my.
Oh my.
And you have the Wildcats to lead off Saturday.
I love cats.
Yeah. With a ground ball out to first, and that'll be a 3 unassisted, moving over to third to Lee Kubat. There's one away.
Number 2,
And here's Braden Sharkey. Here's Braden Sharkey.
Whether he meant it or not, that was a good sacrifice.
Yeah. A little bit of unintentional assistance to your teammates. 1-1, bottom of the 5th. Pittman looking to break the stalemate here with the infield in for Gateway. And the first pitch is a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Here from beautiful Alcyon Park on this Saturday afternoon. At least I think it's past noon now. Yeah, it's 12:22, so that one is downstairs. 1-1. Although it'll be real fun when we're doing the 9 a.m. game on the 30th in Brooklawn. Gonna have to wake up at my 6 a.m. usual time for that one. Swing. Looked like a foul tip by Sharkey. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a ground ball. That's barely foul. Here's a swing and a fly ball out towards first. Sieber, who's got it. Green had it, but he dropped the ball. Sieber just should have caught that. Wow.
I don't think anybody called it.
I didn't hear anybody.
I mean,
call
we
for
are
it.
a ways away, but still, I didn't hear anybody calling it.
Yeah,
We should've.
that is definitely a bit of a concern right there. That'll be an E1 on the pitcher Green. First error of the game for Gateway. Here's the pitch. It's down and away. 1-2. Runner on third for Pittman and 1 away. Infield again in. Taking a hot shot and a chopper. Foul. 2-2. Down and in. Action in the Gateway bullpen. Throwing is number 4. And here's a looper out towards short. Throw to the plate is going to catch Kubat in a rundown between third and home. Going to second. Well, now, wait a second. Why is he going to third? They caught the runner between third and home, and Kubat was out. And that allowed a ball that never left the infield to get Braden Sharkey all the way to third base. He went flying around the base paths, but that really put Kubat in a bad spot, because if he had to go back to the base, he couldn't have stayed there because Sharkey had already been touched there. So it kind of worked, but it also didn't really work, as it just got the second out of the inning and just replaced Kubat on third with Braden Sharkey. So this is going to bring up Stephen Devaney. So 2 down and a runner on third for Pittman. Infield now back to its normal depth, being now really without fear of that play at the plate. Now you just make the easiest play possible with 2 down. Strike, and it's 1-1. There's a fly ball out to right. Going back is Cruitt, and he makes the catch. So Gateway gets out of the jam in a huge way. The Gators are back in it, 1-1 going to the 6th. Here in the top of the 6th inning, Gateway and Pittman all knotted up at 1 here in the 17th annual Joe Lang Classic. Stephen Devaney really working and wheeling and dealing. After 5 innings of dominance, Pittman looked like it was a surefire bet to take the lead. However, they left the runner on third after the rundown got Kyle Kubat out, and then Stephen Devaney flew out to right field to thwart the threat in the 5th. First batter for Gateway in the top of the 6th inning will be Landon McGinnis, left-handed hitting right fielder. He's 0 for 1 today, only had 1 at bat in the 3rd, and that was a strikeout looking. Like we said, a really defensive game, not one of those games where you're going to see, going to the 3rd run through of the order in the 2nd inning. This is only going to be when Zach Brodsky gets back to the top of the order 3 batters from now. That's only going to be his 3rd at bat of the game, and the 3rd time through the order. So really just a lot of great defense, just like this right here to Hudson Rue. Throw to first is in time, 1 away on the 6-3 ground out. It's fundamental baseball. Not a lot of errors, not a lot of miscues, just, you know, good defense and keeping the ball down, keeping the glove down, being able to
Now batting number
get
7,
yourself in the rhythm really helps your case. First pitch to Dylan Pruitt is upstairs, and it's 1-0. Here's a line drive out to Rue, and that's going to get through in the left center field, a base hit. Pruitt's going to trail off of first and return to the bag, and a base hit. And this is going to bring up
Brodsky.
Zach Brodsky. He is 1 for 1, walked in the first but was out via a double play and then doubled in the third. Got the only run home for Gateway, but was picked off at second base. Here's a fly ball, center field on the first pitch. It's taken in on a can of corn. To the center fielder, Braden Sharkey, and there's 2 down. This is going to bring up Sean Green.
Now batting number 2, Sean Green.
Here's a ground ball, fly ball in the center field rather. Going back is Sharkey, and he is there. Inning over. Still knotted up 1-1 going to the 6th. We could very well have free baseball if the inning and a half after this one proceeds in the same manner. So, bottom of the 6th, 1-1 score. Bottom of the 6th here from Alcyon Park in Joe Lang Field, or rather Joe Lang Field to JV Field, but you get what I'm saying. It's the Joe Lang Tournament. 17th annual between the Gateway Gators and the Pittman Panthers, all knotted up at 1 as Sean Green and Stephen Devaney have been in a pitcher's duel. The snack stand back behind home plate is hustling and bustling. I might have to go down there and get what is called a Mama Marie's Hoagie. Somebody sent a picture of their menu. They've got hot dogs, Chick-fil-A sandwiches, Gatorade, soda, waters, pretzels, candy, and cowtails, benefiting Pittman High Baseball. $6.50 for a Italian or turkey and cheese hoagie. So I may have to pick that up. But big shout out as we go to the bottom of the 6th to baby cousin of mine, Miles Kalkowski. Said that right?
Yep.
He's up in Connecticut with his family, and he's, I think, turning 3. She had to show me the number of fingers. But,
Happy birthday, Miles.
yes, happy birthday to my baby cousin Miles. Much love from Jersey. We do have some family in Pittman, but couldn't meet her for lunch after the game because she's up in Connecticut right now for the weekend. So Much love here from South Jersey. Bottom of the 6th, 1-1 score. Yeah, I was like, why are you holding up 3 fingers? And I'm just like, am I on a cue on a countdown? And I realized that that's the age.
That's how old he is.
Yeah, I'm not good at keeping up with that. Just
It goes so fast, Dan.
I know. Can't believe I'm 17, you know?
I can't believe it.
1-0. There's a swing and a hot shot grounder pass to third baseman. That'll go into left field. Picked up by Smith, going to second base. And getting in there, standing up, will be Hudson Rue. And for the second time in as many innings, Pittman leads it off with a runner in scoring position. There's a strike. You know, what I've realized over the past month or so being able to work with Pittman baseball is that this community really is such a great town and a great community, and you know, just not just because I have family that live here, just, you know, mostly because everyone is so nice and kind and supportive of what I do, you know, goals and what I'm after. So it really all works out in the end. But it's 1 ball, 1 strike. To Jake Sharrow. Even my scorecard is starting to get caught up in the wind, which is blowing out to right and a fly ball to left. Going back to Smith, that's going to drop in front of him. And Rue will go home. He's going to hesitate a little bit, and the throw is in time! It's in time! And if you look on the left side of your screen, Sharrow couldn't believe the call, and neither could Hudson Rue. A close play at the plate, and we are still tied at 1 with a runner on first and 1 out. The music will play a little bit louder, and the fans will get a little bit louder. Everything's getting a little bit intense, as that was a line drive single to left that fell in front of Colin Smith. And Hudson Rue, I think the reason why he was called out, he wasn't really going at full speed to home plate. He rounded third like he was going to hold up, and then he got the call to go, 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 and it was just a little bit too late. And that's why he was called out, at least in my opinion. From this angle, I couldn't really tell whether he was safe or out, so
I agree on the call. It looked like he was going to stop, and then he tried to go again.
Yeah. Like he was like 50% speed, and then he had to go back up. And now we're back to first base again. Back-to-back singles, back-to-back hits rather, for Pittman, a double and a single. And they're going to throw behind the runner. The ball skipped away from Ryan Seeger, but he's going to pick it up. That was a very dangerous play. But it ended up working out a little bit in their favor. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Strike, yeah, the wind is definitely teetering a little bit. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two and 1. Three and 1. Drew Keefe is going to try to play hero here for the Panthers. Here comes a throw again behind the runner, not in time. And the count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. One away, runner on first, which will be the go-ahead for the Panthers. Swinging a foul. Headed out towards the parking lot. That one is going to be ball 4. So Sharrow will go down to second base, and the first 3 in this inning for Pittman have reached. So here's Jude Engstrom. And this may be a call to the bullpen as Mike Pietroforte is going to come out here and talk to his man Sean Green, and with up in the bullpen being Anthony Eldridge, they may make the call here. But 2 runners are on, first and second for Pittman. And they're going to leave Green in for now. That one is upstairs. 1-0. Another foul ball. Engstrom, the number 7 hitter in the order for Pittman this afternoon. He is 0 for 2. Grounded into a fielder's choice and at a 6 unassisted. He ended the 3rd inning, second inning, and the 4th inning. That one is down low. 2 balls, 1 strike. You'd imagine that Gateway's coach, Mike Pietroforte, will probably have to make a switch here with Eldridge if he can't hang on. There's a swing and a miss. So 2-2. Huge spot here for Pittman. On second base, Jake Sharrow. On first base is Drew Keefe. As Pittman looks to break the stalemate that was formed in the 3rd inning and taking the lead in the opening game of the 2023 17th Annual Joe Lang Classic. We'll see if Engstrom is the man to play hero. Strike. And 2 down as Engstrom goes down looking.
You can hear the bench all the way from out here.
Here's Braden Yordy. Yeah, you're right.
They're fired up.
They love it. Yordy 0 for 2.
Pittman doesn't love it.
Yeah, Gateway loves it.
Gateway loves it.
Well, for Green, he hasn't exactly been a strikeout maestro. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4. That was his 5th strikeout of the afternoon. So Devaney's had, maybe 7 or 8. And hold on here. We're gonna have a pinch runner, I think. Go over towards Pittman dugout, and they will. So I would imagine if going back to the dugout is Sharrow, that would mean because there's 2 outs and he's going to catch. So at second base now is number 16. No, excuse me, that is number 15, Colin Ambrosius. There's a ball, 1-0. There's the ball, 2-0. There's a swing and a miss, 2-1. 3-1. If this inning were to continue after Yordi, Kyle Kubat, who led off the 5th with a double, will be next. We will have to wait and see. 3-1. Strike on the outside corner, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 aboard for Gateway, or rather for Pittman. Gateway looking to get out of the jam and looking to hold on to the tie score going into the final inning of regulation. And Green will step off. Green has thrown all 5 2/3 innings, has had 5 strikeouts, and has allowed just 1 run on about a half dozen hits. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Green gets out of the jam in a best way that he possibly could. And we will go to the 7th inning. All tied up at 1 here from Alcyon Park. Couldn't have drawn it up better in Hollywood. We'll go to break. 1-1. Gateway and Pittman all knotted up. Connor Barbato leading off the top of the 7th inning for the Gateway Gators. What a game this has been, all tied up at 1 apiece. Unlike anything I've seen in a long time. Pitcher's duel here in Alcyon Park. As the first pitch to Barbato from Stephen Devaney, who's been on a roll. Pitched every inning, has faced every batter so far, and there's a strike. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Paroli's Printing and Bantle's Banners, Signs, and Apparel. The true one-stop shop for all your print and promotional needs with a 5-star Google rating. If you need graduation, lawn signs and banners, flyers, A-frames, business cards, or envelopes done right, this is the place for you. One ball, 1 strike. As Barbato leads off the 7th. It'll be Barbato, Tacanelli, and Ryan Sieber due up for Gateway. In the dirt, 2-1. The first 3 for Pittman in the bottom half of the 7th will be 9-1-2. Kubat and then the Sharkey brothers, Connor and Braden, respectively. With a fly ball out in the center field, a little looper for a base hit. They'll go out towards right center, picking it up is Braden Sharkey, and a leadoff single for Connor Barbato. Starts to put things into motion for Gateway. And this will bring up Tacanelli. Still no sign from John Hopley about a pitching change, and still no action in the Pittman bullpen. They believe in their guy, Devaney. They really do believe in him. And they will stop at no bounds to make sure that he is good for this game. This Panthers team has a lot of confidence in the junior right-hander. They have the confidence. They have the belief in number 1, Devaney. They really love this guy. Swinging a line drive out towards right center field on the first pitch. It's going to drop and bounce off of Braden Sharkey. And everyone will move up 90 feet. And another no-out single for Gateway really puts things into motion now. 2 on, nobody out.
First and second.
Runners on first and second. And now, after 6 strong innings, John Hopley is coming out. I think he may just be talking to Devaney, though. I don't think he's pulling the plug just yet. So Gateway talking it over, is talking over some strategy, and so is Pittman on their end of the baseball. Question is, who comes out on top? Well, we will have to see. A lot to be desired. Here we go. Ryan Sieber, after back-to-back singles from the Gators. That one misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Maybe just trying to calm Stephen Devaney's nerves a little bit. Because if they can really get into his head, then Gateway, you know, kind of will be living rent-free a little bit and get a couple of runs off of him. If they can alter that mindset just a little bit and throw him off. And with 2 on and nobody out in the biggest inning of the ball game, I would say that would definitely throw off a pitcher. It would throw me off for sure, but baseball as a pitcher, it's about the mind games, having a strong mindset, and having the confidence, as Nick Caladros of Audubon said. Once you have the confidence, you're free to go. Wavered out towards the third base side and out towards the softball field. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Sieber. Peter Frombach at the center of your screen is on deck for Gateway. Pittman in a jam, looking to get out of it, but still have 3 outs to record. That one's going to move everyone up on a wild pitch. Sharrow picks it up, and trailing off the third to entice a little bit is Barbado. And now runners are on second and third for Gateway. And not only that, but the count runs full. Really, as the infield is moving in a little bit, third baseman Jake Epting is on the edge of the grass. Everybody else moving in, except for the second baseman and the shortstop. Making sure nothing gets through. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and a fly ball foul. Remember, folks, after this game, we still have one more coming to you with the Glassboro Bulldogs and the Gloucester City Lions. Whoever wins that game will play the winner of this game at 3 o'clock. The consolation game will be, or rather at 2 o'clock, excuse me. The consolation game will be held at the JV field, but will not be broadcast because I don't have that many cameras with me. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gateway's dugout, hyping up their man, Ryan Sieber, looking for another shot with first base unoccupied. And there's a fly ball in the center field. Sharkey is there. He makes the catch. The throw to the, no, they're going to throw back to second base, and they got him. They caught the runner napping off of second base, and it's a double play on an unconventional 8-6 double play. Pittman with some elite defense this afternoon as they have caught Gateway in a trap like no other. So a runner on third, and John Hopley with that runner on and 2 outs, I think will finally make the change here. Devaney will stay in the game. I thought the rule was that after a coach talked to the pitcher for the second time in an inning that he had to be taken out, but I guess that rule has been negated in this situation. But runner on third, 2 outs for Gateway. And what has been a game of the year. Bunt foul. Off the bat of Frombeck. Two outs and a runner on third for Gateway. This would have been a hugely different ball game if that wasn't a double play in center field by Sharkey. Line drive, left field, base hit, and Gateway is taking the lead. RBI single off the bat of Peter Frombeck, and it's 2-1. The Gators have broken the stalemate, and now John Hopley, for a third time, will make the change. Maybe one batter too late, but that is all you need. A runner on first is all that stands, and a one-run game is what exists. As Gateway forces Stephen Devaney out of the game in the 7th inning after 6 2/3. He'll go back to the dugout, and we will have a Parole's pitching change here in the top of the 7th, 2-1. Gateway leads Pittman. We'll be right back after this. Scoreboard says it all. Top of the 7th inning with 2 down. Hudson Rue in the game for the Panthers. I almost said the Green Wave, but the Panthers in a 2-1 ball game. Gateway has taken the lead with a runner on first and 2 down. What a game this has been. It was 1-1 from the 3rd inning onwards until an RBI single off the bat of Peter Frombeck gave Gateway the lead. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Does get him down to second base. That one is away, 1-2. If this inning were to continue after Colin Smith, Landon McGinnis would be up for Gateway. They're going to step off Rue. Swinging a grounder. Out towards short. Throw to first by Devaney. is in time. But Gateway has done the damage. They take a 2-1 lead as Pittman is in crunch time, going to the bottom of the 7th here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. And Joe Lang Classic opener here from Alcyon Park. The southpaw Ryan Sieber looking to get it started and get it done in the bottom of the 7th inning. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Gennaro Furness, Rodan and Fields, independent consultant. Check her out on her Facebook page. Here we go. Kyle Kubat, first to hit for the Panthers. 2-1 ball game. Gateway took the lead in the top half of the inning with an RBI single off the bat of Peter Frombeck. Keep in mind, folks, no matter who wins the game, stay tuned for the player of the game, the DWB postgame show brought to you by Doug Does Anything, for the player that can do anything. That one's high and away, 2-0. That's down low, 3-0. Heck of a game this has been. The 3-0 pitch. Gets one right down Broadway, gets it back. Sieber with a 12.83 ERA. That one hit him. So it's a moot point anyway. Hit by pitch by Kubat. Tying run is on. This is Sieber's third appearance of the year. In a 6-5 win versus Gloucester, he threw 3 innings. And in a 14-4 loss versus Collingswood, he also threw 3 innings. Had a 5.18 ERA last year in 24 1/3 innings. For the lefty sophomore. Swing and a foul. If Gateway were to win this game, they would improve to 3-6 on the year. And it would be just their second 1-run victory of the year. They would snap a 3-game losing streak after losing by 10 to Collingswood, 9 to Sterling, and 22-4 to Haddonfield. And a line drive out, caught by Barbado. He's got to go back to the base. And the throw skips away. The throw was short. And it sailed over the first baseman's head. So he will stay on first, but an incredible play by Connor Barbado keeps Kyle Kubat at bay. What a play by Connor Barbado.
He might have just saved the ball game for the Gators.
He very well could have. Ground ball, first pitch out to Barbado. There's one on the first. So now there's 2 down, but the tying run is still on, except instead of it being Kubat, it is now Braden Sharkey. How good would this be for Stephen Devaney if not only after 6 2/3 innings of extremely hard work on the mound, if he can get the job done. He had a 2-run RBI double earlier in the month to win the game on a walk-off in a 9-8 win over Paulsboro. So he's been in these clutch situations before, and he's delivered before. The question is, can he deliver today? Remember, again, the winner of this game will go to the championship at 2 o'clock and will stay here. The loser plays in the consolation game down at Joe Lang. Throw down to second base is not going to be in time. And a stolen base for Braden Sharkey. If I'm a head coach, I don't know if I call that, but if you have enough trust in your base stealers to know that he's going to get in there off of the pitcher, then I guess go for it, but it's a risky play. 1-0.
With 2 outs, though, I think he kind of had to make that move.
Yeah, get him in a little bit more favorable of a position.
Yeah, get him into scoring position.
1-1. Versus Devaney. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Gateway leads by 1. That's in the dirt. Devaney, or rather Sharkey, will go back to second base. The sun is beaming down. Intensity rummaging through the dugouts as Ryan Sieber looks to advance Gateway to the 17th annual Joe Lang final. Ground ball out to third, and it will go through into left field. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it is not in time. It's cut off. Throw down to second base is not in time, and the game is tied. Pittman has tied it at 2, down to their last out. And this game continues to reach new heights of insanity and chaos. Almost like an orderly chaos in a 2-2 ball game.
You sum that up with that frame.
My apologies there. That was a line drive single to center off the bat of Stephen Devaney, who has tied the game. And he got to second base. He advanced after the throw down to the plate, and a first pitch pop-up out towards first. Going out is Green, and it will go foul. Oh and 1. So it's 2-2 after the RBI by Devaney tied the game. Two. Hudson Rue now trying to play hero with Devaney on second. That one is low. 1-1. My word. What a game this has been. 2-2 ball game. 1-1 count. And right back to second base. We will have free baseball at Alcyon Park. We're going to the 8th inning. 2-2 tie game. Here in the top of the 8th inning, these fans parked their lawn chairs on the grass for 7 innings of baseball, but we have free baseball here in Alcyon Park, extra innings between the Gateway Gators and the Pittman Panthers. 2-2 tie game in the top of the 8th inning. What a game this has been. You're watching coverage of the 17th annual Joe Lang Classic here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Hudson Rue steps in, and the first pitch to Landon McGinnis is a ground ball out to second base. Throw to first is in time, and making the play will be Pittman's number 28. And there's one down. Excuse me, that was Drew Keefe at second base. I misread the 0-4-0. Here's Dylan Pruitt after McGinnis grounded out to start the inning. Swing and a miss, hefty hack. There's a ground ball again out to Keefe. 2 down. As the sun shines again just above us. About 1:15 Eastern Time. If you're just joining us, you chose a great time to do so. In a 2-2 tie game between the Gateway Gators and the Pittman Panthers. What a day this has been. Each team scored a run in the 3rd, and each team has scored a run in the 7th. Stephen Devaney tied the game on an RBI single to center field. Got all the way to second base, but then the man after him, Hudson Rue, grounded out to the second baseman, and that's where we stand. Nobody on for Gateway, 1-1. A 1-1 count, rather. That one's inside, 2-1. Still no buses here from the teams from the first game, Glassboro and Gloucester, down at Joe Lang Field, so not exactly sure who has won that game, because both teams were pretty evenly matched, so it really could go either way. 3-1 count to Pruitt. That's a free pass. So with 2 down after back-to-back ground out to the second baseman, Keefe. He's put himself in a prime spot. So Brodsky walks. This will bring up Sean Green. Runner on first, 2 down, top of the 8th. Popped up foul. That one just hit off of the shingles of the building back behind home plate. Now we have foul ball chase for some of the kids back there. Breaking ball, but not called. 1-1 was a tough play. I think if anybody, Braden Sharkey's been the most vocal about how he didn't really appreciate the call. That one's upstairs, gonna go to the backstop. Going to second base will be Brodsky, and he is in there uncontested. 2-1. In all fairness, the center fielder does have the best view, and there's a rocket deep left center field, but the wind is going to keep it in. That ball at a high launch angle, and I maybe jumped the gun a little bit on that one. The inning is over. That one almost looked like a 400-footer off the bat of Green, but it ends up being a 200-footer to center fielder. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 2-2, still tied up in extra innings between Gateway and Pittman. Here in the bottom of the 8th, extra inning baseball here at Alcyon Park in Pittman. This broadcast is brought to you in part by DJK Roofing, South Jersey's #1 roofing supplier with over 200 5-star reviews on the web. Get a free quote today by calling Carmine Rampolla at 856-778-3900. Again, that's 856-778-3900. Jake Sharrow, the first to hit for the Panthers. That one is a ball, 1-0. Gateway left a runner on second base in the top half of the 8th. And that's a hit by pitch. At first I thought it was just a bad throw, but instead it hit his left shoulder, and Jake Sharrow, for the 3rd time this afternoon, reaches base. There's Drew Keefe. Replicating the theme song of Alec Boehm of the Phillies. That one skips away. Going to second base is going to be Jake Sharrow. He moves into scoring position with nobody out. There we go, 1-1. He's gonna bunt, but it's foul. Excuse me, now it's 1-1. Runner on second base for Pittman. Upstairs, 2-1. After this will be Jude Engstrom. Remember, no matter who wins this game, stay tuned for the DWB postgame show brought to you by Doug Does Anything for the player that can do anything. But we have to get a winner first. It's in the dirt. 3-1. Ball 4, and Keefe will walk.
Now batting for Pittman, number 34.
And here is Jude Engstrom. So Engstrom will now come up to the plate. 2 on, nobody out. Pittman looking to play hero. And Engstrom looks to be the superhero. First pitch, swing and a miss. There's a strike. 0-2 to Engstrom. Braden Yordy on deck, the only rostered senior for Pittman. He is on deck with 2 on and nobody out. But Engstrom is the man of the hour. There's a ground ball that's going to go into center field. It's going to be picked up, and it's going to be booted. Here comes the runner to the plate, and Pittman has won it in extras. Walk-off single, Jude Engstrom. He's mobbed at first base, and the Panthers at their home court, Alcyon Park, they're moving on to the 17th annual Joe Lang Championship. Several walk-offs this year for Pittman, but the first one I could film, and it's off the bat of the first baseman, Jude Engstrom. Pittman had a great rally in the 8th inning, putting 2 runners on a hit by Pittman, a walk, and Jude Engstrom was the man to deliver in the bottom of the 8th. He will be your player of the game, brought to you by Doug Does Anything, for the player that can do anything. The Gators fall 3-2 in 8 innings. It took an extra inning, a singular extra inning, to get it all done. And now either Glassboro or Gloucester will play the Panthers in about 45 minutes. Folks, stay tuned for the DWB post-game show. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our Dan Wilkins Broadcasting post-game show presented by Doug Does Anything, for the player that can do anything. Today's player of the game, Jude Engstrom, who led the team to a 3-2 win in extra innings over the Gateway Gators after a walk-off single in the bottom of the 8th inning. Man, it was a real good game for you guys today. Each team scored 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 7th. How'd you one in the 8th as well for the Panthers? But 3-2 win today for you guys. How'd you guys feel overall?
It was a little hard in the beginning. Weren't really getting a lot of hits, but kept fighting, kept pushing, and it'll work out.
And for your pitcher, your starting pitcher, Stephen Devaney, what a heck of a performance that he had. He really helped you guys today. But the offense seemed like it was both pitchers were having a real good time. Was there anything specific about Sean Green for Gateway that you guys just weren't picking up on until the end of the game?
I'm not sure. I don't really know.
Fair enough. I mean, you know, you got the last hit when it mattered, though, that walk-off single, and you guys were able to give Gateway their 4th consecutive loss, but at least this time for them it was a 1-run loss and not like a 10-run loss or anything like that. But just looking at the scorecard, great performance by you guys today. Going into the championship game, which will probably be about an hour between either Glassboro or Gloucester, depending on who wins that one. I don't think I have a score update from them yet, but you guys seem like the home field advantage is working out for you guys. How do you guys feel going into the championship game?
We love this field. This is a nice field. We're gonna do our job, get hits, get outs in the game. That's all you can do.
That's the best way to do it. Thank you, Jude.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jude. You are the player of the game, presented by Doug Does Anything.
Thank you.
And you can go have some Chick-fil-A with your buddies down there, and I think I'm going to go get some too. So, from everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, my producer Donna Wilkins, our graphics crew Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane, I'm Dan Wilkins. We'll see you in about 30 minutes with coverage of either Glassboro or Gloucester and the Pittman Panthers here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. See you guys very soon.